a call for an alternative feminism. A Catholic writer and thinker is pushing for a different kind of feminism, particularly for American Christians. Leah Libresco Sargeant, a convert to Catholicism and author of books like Arriving at Amen and Building the Benedict Option, is now writing a newsletter dedicated to exploring feminism. In an interview on the topic with the Christian online platform Mere Orthodoxy, Sargeant discusses the definition of feminism and cultural problems when it comes to life and family. She says, quote, "For all the discussion we have about abortion, you'd think people are having too many children they don't want. But women have way fewer children than they want, and that's every bit as deserving of conferences, policy papers, and questions at debates as the pay gap." To tell us more, we're joined on Skype by Leah Libresco Sargeant herself. Leah, welcome. Let's just dive right into that quote of yours I mentioned. Feminists have promised more freedom and support for women, but why do you think women are having fewer babies today? Are women as free as feminists promised women would be if there was access to abortion?
I think in a lot of cases, people, even people who support abortion are fighting in good faith, trying to expand options for women. But what happens is not only the intrinsic violence of abortion, but that there are a lot of people invested in shaping what women choose when we say we're being pro-choice or putting more options on the table. You see this even with options like egg freezing offered by companies like Google, which are meant to expand the choices that their employees can ostensibly make, but give the employer a lot more leverage to try and pressure women into delaying having children so that they don't disrupt the plans their employer has for them.
You've been dedicating your writings and thoughts on feminism in a new Substack. And just so our viewers are aware, Substack is an increasingly popular way for writers to connect with their readers. It's an email newsletter that writers can charge money for. Leah, what prompted this new newsletter? What is this new alternative feminism you're thinking through and writing about?
I think this is a question I've been thinking about for a while, but after the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett, there was a prominent article by Ross Douthat calling for a conservative feminism, and then just an outpouring of articles by women I really admire, like Jennifer Frey, Erica Bakioki, exploring this idea. But articles kind of get published and then editors move on to the next topic, and I wanted a sustained newsletter so people could stay on this topic and keep benefiting from creating connections to each other and helping each other out.
As Catholics, Leah, we are called to really live in a countercultural way. What does that mean for Catholic women and feminism?
I think it means being really fearless about risk and dependence. That we live in a culture, that tells us to wait for marriage until everything is squared away, to wait for children until everything is perfect. And there's a real gift in offering the witness of not everything in my life is perfect. Not everything in my life is under my control. That's true of everyone, but I think it's a little easier for us to admit it, especially as we know that God is shaping our lives. But the more we tell women that their job is to be on top of everything and only act where they have perfect control, the more we're telling women they don't and won't ever have permission to have children, to have marriages, to take chances.
We just have a minute left, Leah, but as a young mother yourself, has anything opened your eyes to ways we can truly better build a culture of life?
I think one of the biggest ones is seeing other people's children. I've wanted children for a while, but one of the things that really made me feel ready, which was a question I didn't know the answer to, was babysitting my friend's 2-year-old for 2 days while she went on a vacation with her husband. I think the more that people live in kind of childless communities, the harder it is to discern marriage or whether you're ready for children, because they're this kind of ambiguous threat rather than a lived reality.
Leah Libresco Sargeant, thank you so much for your thoughtfulness and congratulations on this new newsletter.
Thank you so much.